demo.
Okay, so this demonstration is about physical pain. Now, physical pain can be about, it's an injury as a result of a car accident, or you fell, you hurt yourself, you twisted your ankle, you broke your arm, fell off your bicycle. It could also be pain as a secondary response to an ailment, like arthritis. It could be because, you have a slipped disc and now there's pain because of the tissue that's damaged. Pain normally in most cases is a secondary response, prompting you to show you that there's something wrong in the body. Okay, that's where it works together with the midbrain as well. Pain because of an accident and injury. What I always like to ask is the person, have you had an injury, a severe injury, before you had this present injury? Because what happens is that the first injury could have healed, but the emotional stress or the psychosomatic aspects of that did not. So it's just dormant. And remember what I said, chronic pain especially is an end result of suppressed anger, and anger is a symptom. So underneath the anger is either resentment, injustice, powerlessness, or loss of control. Which means automatically that there's a suppressed fighting instinct as well that's not being acted out. Now, pain is a secondary response, meaning that the pain from the first injury could come back and relocate to the new area that's been injured. So you think that the new area, the pain is continuing or becoming chronic, and then you look at the psychosomatic aspects of the new injury area. So for example, the shoulder, the first one was in the ankle. So that pain relocated to the shoulder where the new injury is, and you keep working on the shoulder, and you're working on the shoulder, and it doesn't get better. There's a reason for that. That's because the pain that moved to the shoulder is actually still associated with the pain that was at the ankle. An ankle, for example, is loss of control. If you want to look at the right-hand shoulder, it could be about feeling like you have to challenge through decisions that you have to make, feeling this great sense of responsibility and leadership that you have to carry, and feeling exhausted by that. So now you keep working on the psychosomatic aspects of the shoulder, but it was actually the ankle that was injured, where the psychosomatic aspects was not completed. And that plays a very big role with the fascia or fascia.
Yeah.
I never know which one to say because in every country it's different.
Yeah.
Bear with me. That big organ sheet that holds all your organs in place. That's the reason why your lungs are not in your ankles, to put it like that. And so what happens is that the injury at the ankle could have caused the fascia to overcompensate. So now, for example, this is now a new subject, new topic, where secondary pain can be another aspect. So say, for example, someone twisted their ankle, and the fascia overcompensates.
Yeah.
So the pain goes away because the injury healed, but now it's pulling, for example, between the shoulder blades. Because if you look at a bed sheet that you hold, and you pull, and you hold it here, and you pull just a little bit at the end, you can see how the stretching of the sheet pulls in different areas at the top, or at the bottom, or on the side. The fascia acts exactly the same. So you keep working on the back and thinking that that's where the starting point is, but it could actually be because of an old injury. It was just showing you that yes, the back is playing a really important role here, because the psychosomatic aspects that's in the middle of the back has now become an issue, and the pain is showing you here is the specific problem of where the pain point is. Let's look at the psychosomatic aspects of that, which would normally be pain. Pain and humiliation, in this case between the shoulder blades, right? Humiliation and embarrassment. But now the pain is actually from the ankle. Okay, so ankle is losing control. So you would look back at looking, for example, losing control and now feeling shame and humiliation because of something that they liked that they felt they lost control over again. That's just me explaining to you. You don't have to go into that depth. I'm just having fun now with how the body can work, which can be super complicated, but we can make it really super simple. Okay, so what we want to ask is then is just, have you ever had an injury before? Just explore some psychosomatic aspects associated with that or trauma, especially if you work on the pain and the pain doesn't go away. Then you explore the secondary pain of where it could have started and then treat it as a secondary pain. Okay? So here with the pain exercise that we're going to be doing now, the demonstration, I have a brave student here, Zora, here with me, who volunteered. She's like, it's too late, you're on the chair. No. So let's have a look here at step 1. Okay, pain due to an accident and injury. So what I like to do with this, in this case, is on page 55.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
So how did you feel the day of the accident and the injury, or the emotional stress that's been building up for you? They might have felt okay that day, to a certain extent to their awareness, but we all know that there was normally a sense of vulnerability, conscious or unconscious, feeling vulnerable because they could have had a conflict with someone, something that caused them to make them feel like they lost a sense of control or emotional stability in their life, that left them feeling vulnerable. Okay? And then also we look at where is the pain located. Look at your cheat sheet. Okay, let it help you to show you what the psychosomatic aspects are. When you get level volume 1, you're going to have a blast. It's going to take it to a whole new level. Okay? And then also, has the client had another injury accident prior to this one? Okay, so that's what I just explained. If so, this could be secondary pain from the first injury or accident. So explore similarities in emotions and patterns before the injury and accident started. Just look for things, because it could be that this person keeps repeating patterns that they're not completing, and that's why you sometimes get these clumsy people. They just keep having accident after accident, bumping their toes, breaking the arm, and then it's the leg, or tearing a muscle here. That's because they're not finding the sense of stability in life. But there's a reason why. Why are you not stepping into your power? Why are you not owning your life? What fear do you have of maturing into this new transition that you're moving into? Because normally accidents happen when there's a big emotional, psychological change or environmental change taking place in their life. That's very, very common. Very common. Okay, and then step 2, get the emotions, and then see the emotionalist if needed. Now, if you're working with pain that's associated to an ailment, okay, then we're going to look at volume 1 again. Just look for the psychosomatic point. If you feel unsure, ask the client to read it. They'll tell you. They'll tell you this one, that one. I really resonate with that. And that's what you work with. And then have a look at the cheat sheet as well. Physically, where's the pain showing up? Right? So you might have kidney problems. So of course the kidneys are going to hurt. But you can also actually, just for fun, have a look at the spinal diagram that I have. And look where the kidneys are, and see if, with the vertebrae, and see if there's anything with those psychosomatic patterns happening there that is perhaps has something in relationship with the kidney psychosomatic patterns. See how creative you can be with this? You can really, really play it full out. Okay, so if pain is chronic, whether it's an accident, injury, or due to an ailment, if it's chronic, you know 100% of the time that you are dealing with unresolved anger. And that anger, again, remember, is a symptom.
Yeah.
What did you feel before you felt the anger? And push it back to the point until you get that answer of loss of control, powerlessness, resentment, injustice.
What about inflammation in the body?
That's anger as well. That's unresolved anger.
Yeah.
That's unresolved anger associated and related to feeling under attack by people that you're supposed to love and feel safe with. In most cases. Right? But then you also want to look, where is the inflammation?
So I'm just thinking.
And then,
oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. And then look at your cheat sheet.
Yeah.
So now you have that piece of information. Now add the second piece of information. And also look at I would, in that case, also look at the immune system. Because the immune system is not functioning as best as it should, which can give you another piece to the story. The body's freaking amazing. We just need to look where, what, and how, and why. Okay? Perfect. So, are you ready, my dear?
Yes, I am ready.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Are you sure you're lying?
No, I'm not lying.
I just say it to make sure that someone is listening.
I become very confused.
Oh, that's perfect.
That's good. Yeah.
That's always a good thing. No, I'm joking. So Zora, you said you had pain,
Yes.
right? Got it. So can you tell me a little bit more about it? Like, where is it and when did it start?
First we start from QL muscles there.
The muscles.
Muscles there.
Both sides, left and right.
More on the right side.
Right side started.
Yeah.
Ah. Okay. So I'm just going to call it hip muscle.
You can write
And
out
then it's the
QL.
right side.
Yeah, right side.
Okay, got it. And this started when?
It started, I would say, about 3 months ago.
Oh. So what
I
happened?
was releasing it. I don't know, but some financial issues has happened that I ignored to look into it. Disappointments. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Did you have an injury 3 months ago? Do you
I
remember?
didn't have no injury, but
Or
I was
accident?
nothing. Just went dancing.
There we go. So you went dancing, and that's when the pain started after the
After a
dancing.
few weeks, starts pain into my piriformis muscle, waist sciatica, and affected my hip. I find very hard to walk. But, so,
Sciatica nerve is always communication.
yes. And that was unbearable. I never experienced that in my life.
Wow.
It lasted for a couple of weeks.
Wow, okay.
And then moved down,
Mm-hmm.
right on glute maximus, very close to the vagina and the
Oh,
back
yeah.
muscle.
Right.
And
So it had a huge ripple effect into that.
yes. Then I went to chiropractor, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and he was working on it, but now switch from the right side, he switched to the left side.
After you went to the
Yes,
chiropractor.
yes,
That's interesting.
And
Was the
then-
chiropractor male or female?
yes.
Male.
He worked on it because he said my pelvic is a little twisted. I knew it was something to do with sacroiliac joint, but I had no way to release it, so I went in. But funny part is, he switches from this side to other side.
Exactly.
And it's unbearable, just touching the nerve under the different maximus. It's right down in the corner. It
Right.
affects again my back passage.
So question just, but in your childhood with mom and dad, was dad always the provider or did it switch to mom also something?
Well, my father was provider financially, but mother was looking after everything was on her. She was mother and father, and she worked in farm. She was very.
So she basically had the same responsibility without the money that you could.
Yeah,
Just
that's
with
what-
that.
yeah,
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and she provided to everybody. Yeah.
Because I can't help but feel a connection with what she told me that when there was financial stress and she goes out and has fun, that guilt kicking in. There's something there that I feel really strongly coming in terms of not being allowed to have fun even though there's financial stress taking place. And you not being able to step up in the way that maybe mom did or up to
My mom will never do
to
that.
the
no.
level. No, I mean you.
Yeah.
I mean you.
I mean, yeah.
You're not your mom, you did it, I
Yeah,
know.
that's true. That's true.
Why was there financial stress? I mean, were you and your husband struggling at
Well,
the
we
time?
are,
or was it more your
you
contribution?
just have to understand, we have no money. We're just living from pension.
Mhm.
And the money what I earn from living, we just help us to get a little bit better life. Yeah, just to
Got it. So you're financial
I'm
provider.
financial provider, yeah.
Ah.
And and my son, he's always in trouble financially. So whenever I feel I'm all right now, he comes with problems. So whatever I'm all right, I'm not all right anymore. Yeah?
So what I'm also
And my
hearing,
mother was exactly same with my brother.
I see. So what I'm hearing is that there's a part of her that has stepped too much into her masculine side with the intent to provide and having to keep it all together. So her predisposition for being the leader, being the keeping everything together, even though her mom was not earning money, that emotional stress associated with that
Yes.
is so, the threshold for that in her is very low, which I feel in this life for her kept building and building and building until her emotional threshold and psychosomatic threshold collapsed. And then it started, and that's why the pain comes, because she's being put in place into situations that's not in alignment with her femininity and where it is that she wants to be and go within her life, because she's held in this masculine role of having to provide. Right? And then that pain is showing the anger of not being able to communicate what I need as a mother, what I need as a wife, what I need as a woman.
Yes, 100%.
So, and again, communication that's perfect because of the psychiatric nerve. So what I would like to work on with you is having, and I wouldn't be surprised if you have a very strong fighting instinct in you, because that's needed, being in such a masculine role, to stay in that.
Yes.
Especially for women. That's why you see a lot of women who are successful, who do really well in life, who tend to be extremely masculine, but they suffer from so many elements of chronic fatigue and autoimmune issues. Right? Because there's no balance. No balance. Does that feel good to you? Does that feel like a good starting point for you?
100%, that is 100%.
Okay, so you're happy with starting the session?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. That's perfect. That's perfect. So I'm just going to add here communication, because that's a block.
Yes.
Okay, and then the anger. So Zora, what I ask you is, close your eyes and relax. Sit back, sit back. And what I would like you to do is this part, because I could already feel that you tap right into that communication block the moment I mentioned it. Also, the anger, that fighting instinct. So what I want to ask you now is, when you felt that anger, what did you feel before that?
I always felt sorry for myself, but I never expressed my anger.
There we go. And how did it make you feel that you didn't express your anger?
I wasn't allowed to express my anger.
But bring the energy back to you.
Yes, that's right.
How did it make you feel?
That made me feel
That you were silent, that you couldn't.
when I'm happy.
There we go. And when you felt unhappy, how did you feel?
Not being proud.
Ah, there we go.
Not being listened.
That's perfect. And how did you feel before you felt that no one is listening to me?
Oh, that does not okay. I don't know.
So you surrendered to that. You
I
just
surrendered that.
So now, in regards to the financial aspects and challenges that you're experiencing, how does it make you feel to have them there standing in front of you, emotionally? How does it make you feel?
I just feel powerless. I just love them too much.
Powerless.
Powerless, and I love
There we
them.
go. That's it.
I do anything for them.
Got it. And so with that powerlessness, what else do you feel? So now I'm going to start the process. I'm going to do the healing as we normally would at step 7. Okay. So Zora, now I'm going to connect with you. We're really gently going to start the healing, okay? I'm going to go quiet for about 1 to 2 minutes to connect with you and help the body with the process, with the different aspects and systems to start the process of healing. Okay? And I'll let you come, and I'll come back to you when I'm ready, and I'll let you know exactly where we're at for the next acknowledgements. Okay, so I'm just going to go quiet for 2 to 3 minutes. I'm still here, and I'm starting now. So when you're ready, you can gently come back to me. Take your time. Back, welcome back. Right here, feel, see the sense. I would love to know what your experience is like. Just like, did you feel sensations?
Yes,
did you see colors?
I felt the sensations. I felt my stomach is not moving. I think that
I heard you.
Yeah.
Mine was talking to yours.
It start talking, yeah. Yeah, I feel relieved, feel kind of relief feeling.
Good.
Some, and you were really
What kind of relief do you feel?
kind of
Relief
ease,
of what?
ease, like I feel that I'm going to be okay. Yeah. And yeah, and what really struck me on then, I was in this room from the beginning, my husband and my son, and I just love them so much. I just want to do anything for them, what I ask them, I don't listen what that mind means.
Yeah, exactly.
While I was going second light, I can see my son, and I can see the difference in them.
Okay.
In
what way?
I felt like they're much more brighter, there's much more lighter, there's much more, I felt like I can relax. Yeah.
They can take care of themselves, yeah. There we go, got it, nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And on end, while you were working on the, working my body, finally, like I was on this room, and I always concentrated on Jesus and His light.
Where?
And He was there, it was there. So on end, suddenly this bright light, really bright, and it comes from my eyes.
Because if you set boundaries, you would lose support, you would lose love, you would lose connection. Because these are boundary failures.
That's right.
Okay. So.
That's right. I got it now.
Okay. So that makes perfect sense working with anger as well. Because a boundary failure, normally by the time someone realizes that they had a boundary failure, they feel angry. Right? And then you're in damage control mode. That means you completely miss the warning of that your boundaries being crossed. But that's also because she probably doesn't even know what her boundaries are. So how do you recognize it? Yeah. Only time you recognize it is when you're in a place of anger, which means that you've hit your threshold of having your boundaries crossed. Do you feel neutral? Do you feel calm?
I am calm, yes.
Good.
Feel very calm, and feel there's going to be lots of changes.
Ooh, I like the power of what you just said there.
Yeah.
Just so cool, there's going to be a lot of change.
And I don't think I'm going to do anything.
No, it's just going to happen.
It's just
Because of your frequency match and how
right.
you changed it.
That's right.
Perfect. So my other question to you is,
Yes.
how do you physically feel? How does your body feel?
Physically, I don't have pain now.
Wow.
Fantastic.
I don't get this. I was sitting here. I did not touch.
We just did a test run because normally if she does go to the restroom, there's excruciating pain for her as well, which was related to the healing that we just did. And so you did go, and?
I did go, and I didn't have no pain. It just, whatever needs to be done, there was no pain. But I do have kind of the fear, is this coming back?
Right. Of course, and that's normal. You're still
Is
integrating.
that normal, yes?
But it's also trust.
So first time in the last couple of months, I didn't have this pain.
Wow.
The like nerve poking, like somebody cutting you with a knife, you don't feel it, yeah? Unbearable pain. And I didn't have that this time.